The boy is only 16 years old. He is 2 meters tall and weighs 150 kilograms. 1 foot is bigger than a girl's head. But his intelligence is only 6 years old. All the people on the pitch were excited to watch the game, only he is lying in the corner, bowing his head. After the show he hid in the back, pick up other people's leftover popcorn. This is his supper. His name is Mike. Mother can't afford to take care of a dozen children. Mike was sent to several foster families in turn. But it's all because of the huge amount of food. Get kicked out every time. He was kicked out again this day. All his luggage was in the plastic bag. The woman passing by is a classmate's parents. She asked Mike if he had a place to stay. Mike has no money, but he has pride. The woman saw through his humble stubbornness. Seeing his poor woman decide to take him in for one night. But the woman also muttered, "A black man who came from a slum. Will it be all right?"
You don't think he'll steal anything, do you?
I guess we'll know in the morning.
The next day she joked with her husband that she had to be ready to call the police. But she was stunned when she went downstairs. Mike folded up the bedding neatly and left. The woman chased out with a little shame. Today is Thanksgiving Day. Just stay one more day. She cooked so many dishes. But the inferiority of Mike only took a bit of vegetables and a piece of bread. Eating alone at the table. The woman turned off the TV. Call everyone to the table. Prayed before the meal. Mike was stunned. It was the first time anyone had ever held his hand. After the meal, the woman accompanied him back to the slum to get things. As the woman started to get out of the car, Mike locked the door. What's happening? Woman looking out. A couple of gangsters looked over, grinning. Playing dirty jokes with Mike. Mike ignored them. The woman said the slum was really dangerous when she came out. And what Mike came out of was, "I will protect you." Mike accidentally turned his head. With just such a glance, he was stunned. Walking into the restaurant and hugged the waiter tightly. The woman then learned that the waiter was Mike's long-lost brother. Many years ago he was on the street, early drop out of school to work. The woman was silent. If no one helps Mike, this is his future. And then repeat the same old way as their parents. Then the woman immediately vacates a spare room after returning home. Mike laughed so happily for the first time. The adoption of a black man in a White House spreads. Neighbor tells her daughter gossip. The woman asked her gently,
Does Michael being here make you uncomfortable?
Unexpectedly, the daughter immediately said nothing. Actually, Mike just got home. The daughter found that the strong Mike was as kind as a child. In order to fight back those gossips,
Where are you going? Collins.
she also volunteered to go to self-study with Mike. Also, the teachers didn't give up on Mike. Under an assault. Although the average grade is still very low. But there's a psychological test. Mike got the first place in the school. What is protection awareness? As long as he thinks the most important people, he will desperately protect. Mike wants to get a driver's license. Because he had never had his own legal papers in his life. A woman feels sour. Okay, no problem. But having done everything, she went through the adoption procedures. Only left for Mike to sign. The woman said we were a family after signing it.
Kinda thought I already was.
Not only that, they use their personal relationships with the coaches to recommend Mike into the rugby team. When others are out of breath, they just take a sandbag. Mike, 4 at a time, the coach sighs, he found a treasure. But no matter how talented you are, you haven't practiced. You don't even know the rules. Either push people down and stare in a daze or carry people to run. Or look at the balloons in the sky. No, forget it. But the woman didn't give up. His younger brother also offered to give him special training. He also used the spice jar to explain the tactics to him. The ball does not matter, the relationship between the two is getting better and better. One day little brother begged Mike to drive to buy a game. The two are singing a song with the wind happily. The result was a car accident. When the woman arrived, the officer told her it was all right. But the strange thing is that the police have never seen such a small child survived by hitting an airbag. There must be something in the way. The woman hurried to comfort Mike, who was still blaming himself. Mike's arm was covered in blood. It turned out that Mike's sense of protection was at work. He managed to hold the airbag at the risk of breaking a bone. Back to training. The coach is still very angry, watching him yelling. The woman shook her head and walked over. She pulled Mike over. You think of the team as our family, and this is your little brother. The one who catches the ball is me. What if someone takes the ball from little brother and me? A whistle, blocking, interception, collision, humanoid tank undoubtedly. Mike advances by leaps and bounds. Soon the match was official, but still suffer from inexperienced losses. First, he was taken advantage of by others, and then stunned by others. The other party is extremely arrogant and full of trash. The player's father also swears on the sidelines.
Zip it, or I'll come up there and zip it for you.
The opponent fought more and more madly, and after Mike fell, he gave his helmet a kick. The coach also exploded and rushed to ask for an explanation. But after all is the host, the home referee unexpectedly gave the coach a yellow card.
This young man plays for my team. My team!
What happens when a hunk of 300 pounds gets mad? The other party was just still arrogant. The next second, knocked down, hit, and knocked down again. Even out of the field like catching a chicken. Little brother made the video into a collection, sent to all major schools in the United States. When school starts next Monday, coaches line up on the sidelines, seeing it at the scene. And it was a spike again. A group of coaches called and asked the school how many scholarships they could give. The doorstep of the house was almost trampled through. The schools lined up, and you counted the scholarships. But distress also came. Which school to choose? Tennessee is the strongest college team in the United States. Mississippi is second though, but it is the alma mater of women and men. They hoped Mike would choose to fight for glory for their alma mater. It all went smoothly, but just before the signing, the college union disciplinary committee came. It's just a sentence that, you really want to go to Mississippi? What's meaning? The man was a basketball star who graduated from the University of Mississippi. Women are honorary alumni of the University of Mississippi. The investigator said that some rich people will win honors to their alma mater in order to help the poor as a means to induce them to choose their alma mater and also honor themselves. By the way, Mike asked the woman if it was like this. Do you take me for a fool too? Who can stop a man who is 300 pounds from going mad? He ran away from home and returned to the slums. Seeing him coming back, the gangster joked about him and his sister. Mike told him to shut up. Unexpectedly, this man took out the gun and gossiped the woman also. Mike realized that the woman's family was the one he wanted to protect most. He called the woman
Michael.
Mama?
But when he met her, she apologized first, saying that I don't care intentionally or not, but I do want you to win honor for my alma mater. On the third day, Mike called the investigator. I wasn't enticed or threatened.
Why do you want to go to Ole Miss?
Because it's where my family goes to school. It's where they've always gone to school.
On the first day of school, the woman held Mike, discussing which canteen is the best and which study room has the best atmosphere. Seeing him look at girls and scare him, our house is not far away. If you do anything wrong, I promise to step on the gas and talk to you. Then she left without turning back. Get along for so long, Mike knew that her bark is worse than her bite. He tapped on the car window. The woman tried hard not to let him see the tears. The mouth is still fierce.
What, Michael?
I need a proper hug.
This is a true story. Michael Oher has an outstanding record. After obtaining a Bachelor of Criminal Justice as an outstanding graduate in 2009. Signed with the Baltimore Ravens for $13.8 million in 5 years. Become one of the league's fastest improving running backs this season, and then help the team win the championship. In 2014, signed the Tennessee Titans team with a value of $20 million for 4 years. He retired in 2017 due to concussion. Mike has been in close contact with Ms. Touhy's family. After retiring, he was keen on charity and distributed food to the poor. Passing on his kindness is the best way to repay Ms. Touhy.